So guys, I saw the Fab Four last night. Holy Last night I saw the Fab Four Tribute Band as a gift to myself for Christmas. I hadn't heard anything about this tribute band before I bought the tickets, but I decided to go ahead with it after I looked at their website and everything. And then a friend told me that they were probably one of the top 5 tribute bands that they know of. It's a strange thing when you go places by yourself. People are more willing to talk to you than usual. And I was asked to buy a beer for an underage, and it was bad. I didn't do it, mind you. But otherwise it was fun, and I guess I made a friend. Maybe. The thing that sets the Fab Four apart from the other bands that I've seen is quite a lot, actually. And I'm going to tell you why I absolutely enjoyed myself beyond belief, and why I think the Fab Four is my favorite, or close to favorite, tribute band that I've ever seen. For those who have never seen the Fab Four, it starts with Ed Sullivan coming out on stage, an actual actor, not a recording of an actor, but an actual actor comes out, and he does a really great job of being the stiff, odd old man who introduces the Beatles. While I enjoyed that a lot, I think one of the downfalls of the show was how long he was up there for, and I get that they need that time to get things settled before they start, but it was kind of to the point where I didn't want to see Ed Sullivan anymore. I was just like, damn it, bring on the Beatles. And a lot of his jokes were mildly funny, and a lot of them were just stupid. There were some strange drug references, which you always have to have a drug reference in a Beatle tribute band. I'm sorry, but you can't get around it, apparently. But for Ed Sullivan to... Well, I can't tell you without spoiling the show. But there's a thing with brownies, and it's just... it was funny, but... yeah, it's not a lot. I mean, there were some moments in there where it was not kid appropriate, and I was happy. But if I had a kid there who, I don't know, I would have some explaining to do, I guess. Anyway, away from Ed Sullivan, there's always that moment of awesomeness when the curtain opens up and there the 4 of them are. It's an insane feeling, because it's just, for those of us who are too young, which most of us are, to have ever seen the Beatles live, this is a really, really awesomely close thing to it. And so that feeling is just, it's electrifying. And I feel like each Beatle had his spotlight, which is important. When they introduced the cast members, they would play a little tidbit of the solo stuff. Unlike Rain, the Fab Four did not have like the backdrop sets and all of that change. It was just the same background for the whole thing. But I think, even though it's not as transportational, is that a word, as Rain, it is really, like, I don't know what I'm saying. I saw Rain 4 times, and I think the Fab Four just stole my heart a little bit more. And I think it's because these guys have so much energy, and there's always that one guy who steals the show for you. And in this case, it was Gavin, who played George Harrison. He looks so ridiculously like George Harrison that I was dying. I was dying on the inside. I couldn't believe it. I still cannot believe he looks that much like George Harrison, and he did such an incredible job bringing George's spirit to the show. Usually George Harrison's at these tribute bands are like dead. They don't do anything, maybe a little dance with their guitar here and there, but that's about it. This guy, he was dancing, he was scowling, he was talking and making jokes, and when he played a little medley of different George songs, he like, I know this is a little cheesy, but he like pointed upwards to the sky as to say, you know, this is you, George, this is yours, you're the man. And that really kind of made me teary-eyed because I've never seen that. And I was just in the moment, and I love George Harrison a billion times more than I ever have today. I don't know what I'm saying, forget it. Whatever. They didn't banter back and forth more than 1964, but they had more references that Beatle fans would understand, and that I really appreciated because references to Paul's clean old grandfather was awesome. If I could go back and see them today, I would. It was great, and the tickets were affordable. To find out about where the Fab Four is going to be, visit their website and let me know what you think of them if you've ever seen them. And I'm going to answer a question by one of my viewers. What is your opinion of the George Harrison remark concerning John Lennon not being mentioned in his book? He said that John misread him, and it's kind of against the idol worship that we always read. I don't know that I've ever heard that, but it doesn't surprise me because from what I've heard, George Harrison and John Lennon weren't that close, and the only time that they were close was when they were doing drugs together, which is very sad. So it was kind of like a very superficial kind of thing, in my opinion. They were very different people, so for George Harrison to say that John Lennon misread him doesn't surprise me at all. And I'm sad about it, but I am glad that George Harrison didn't pull the wool over everybody's eyes like Paul McCartney might do sometimes to kind of keep things in the shadows, to make things look better than they are. And don't forget, I have a little question box on my channel if you want to ask me any more questions. Totally up for it. Okay, well, that's my 2 cents, and I hope you guys have a great week. Bye!